did you come to the understanding that it was your life or someone else's life? He said, if I don't do it, niggas gonna do it to you. Who said that? Chicken. And did you have an understanding of why they, Chicken, expected you to do a drill? Because I wasn't putting in no work at the time. I never shot nobody. I never did nothing. I was just being around. And when you said you had never done any work, what do you mean? I never shot at nobody. Nothing. Had you previously done robberies? Yes. Had you previously sold drugs? Yes. So your understanding of work in this sense was to do drills? Yes. Did you have a gun? Yes. Was it the .32 that you mentioned earlier? Yes. So what happened? When he made a threat, I told him to go get the gun. They went and got it. And I went to my house, dressed in all black, got the other mask, and I went to the ECG to go shoot at him. Did anyone go with you? Yes. Who? Corey and Flocka. Who are those people? Triple M members. Okay. Did you at some point arrive at ECG? Yes. So what happened when you got there? I seen the crowd. At first I didn't do it. I was a little scared, and they both was begging to do it for me. And I said no. Excuse me? When you say they both, who are you talking about? Flocka and Corey. Please go ahead. And I said no. And they kept asking, and I kept denying them. And then we went around to the whole projects, and we got to the front of the projects, and I seen the same crowd, and I started shooting at them. Did you recognize the individuals in the crowd? Yes. Did you recognize them as gang members? Yes. How were you able to recognize them? It was like 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning. There's a lot of boys out there, and I seen familiar faces that I knew. Did you hit anyone that day? Yes. Did anyone die? No. How do you know? Facebook. Can we please have Government Exhibit 22? Mr. Hamilton, do you recognize that person? Yes. Who is that? That is me. The government offers Government Exhibit 22 as well as 22A. No objection. Received. Mr. Hamilton, on another occasion, did you go to Edenwald with others to do a drill? Yes. And were you the shooter that day? No. Approximately when was that? 2015. Was it before or after the other shooting you just told us about? After. Where were you before you went on that drill? 215. And who were you with? It was me, Chicken, Twin, and a driver. I forgot his name. We've already heard you testify about Chicken. Who was Twin? Twin is affiliated with Triple M. And the other guy whose name that you forgot, was he a BMB or Triple M member? No. Was he affiliated? Yes. So what happened the day that you, Twin, Chicken, and the other guy went to Edenwald? We was driving over there. First, Edenwald had made a song called Bodies Droppin', and in response to Guns Clappin' that Polo Rell made. We didn't like the video. We didn't like what was said. We went to Edenwald in the car, and we was debating who was going to shoot the gun, who was going to shoot. And Twin said he was going to do it. And Twin got out the car and shot at a person and got back in the car. And we drove off. Did that person die? No. All right. So I want to circle back to some of the things you said. You said Edenwald had put out a video called Bodies Droppin' that you didn't like? Yes. What was Bodies Droppin'? A video that Edenwald made in response to a Polo Rell Guns Clappin'. What is Polo Rell's Gun Clapping? A song that Polo Rell made. How did you know that Bodies Droppin' was a response to Guns Clappin'? The chorus. It was like. Okay, and what about Bodies Droppin' did you not like? I remember the chorus. He said from uptown, there's no bodies dropping. And they had on like 2 and O shirts, meaning 2 deaths and 0 deaths on their side. So you understood the shirts to mean they had 0 deaths on their side? Yes. And you had 2 deaths on your side? Yes. Who were the two deaths on your side? Big Bank and Quay Rose. Who is Quay Rose? A member of BMB. Could we please show the witness Government Exhibit 34? Who is that? That's Quay. The government offers Government Exhibit 34 and 34B. No objection. Received. Mr. Hamilton, why did the song Bodies Droppin' make you want to do a drill? Because they're disrespecting Big Bank and Quay. How so? By putting 2 and 0 on t-shirts, and they was doing a lot of lying in the song. What do you mean lying? The 0. Kiki is from Edenwald. He had died. That was supposed to be a loss for Edenwald. And they said he wasn't from Edenwald. But BMB, we all knew he was from Edenwald. What made you think the 0 had to do with Kiki? Because when he died, they wasn't claiming. It was very nonchalant. They didn't care. What makes you say that Bodies Droppin' was a response to Guns Clappin'? The chorus was similar to Guns Clappin', Polo Rell's song. What was Guns Clappin' about? Kiki death. When did Quay die? 2014. Do you remember the time of year? 2014, May, on Mother's Day. How did you feel when Quay died? I was hurt. Did you discuss Quay's death with other members of BMB? Yes. Did you discuss Bodies Droppin' with other members of BMB? Yes. What did they have the same understanding that you did about what Bodies Dropping meant? Objection. Sustained. What did other members of BMB say to you about Bodies Dropping? Objection. I'm sorry to say, I think we need a short sidebar on this. Mr. Hamilton, what did other BMB members say to you about Bodies Dropping? We was just speaking about the situation, about how they're not claiming Kiki when he's from Edenwald, so we felt like he died for no reason. When you say they're not claiming Kiki, do you mean Edenwald? Yes. Where were you when you found out that Quay died? I was in Brooklyn. How did you find out that he died? A female called me on the phone. Did you later learn whether any BMB members were present when Quay died? Yes. Who was present when Quay died? I, Joe, Matt, and a couple of other people. Who is Matt? Matt Goon. Who is he? BMB and Triple M. Did you speak to Matt Goon about how Quay died? Yes. What did he tell you about Quay's death? They was leaving the female's apartment, and as they was walking, it was dark, it was late night, they seen a person driving on a bike, and that person started shooting, and Rose tried to shoot back, but it was too late, and Ijo picked up the gun, and the person that shot Quay drove off in the car, and Ijo started shooting at the car. Okay, did Ijo or Matt have an understanding of who the person on the bike was? Yeah. Who was it? A person from Edenwald. Where was Quay when all of this was taking place? With Ijo and Matt and a couple of other guys. Were they inside BMB territory? Yes, they was on 215 in Barnes. Did you also discuss Quay's death with other members of BMB? Yes. Was it common knowledge within BMB that Quay was killed by Edenwald? Yes. Did Quay's death have an effect on the beef between Edenwald and BMB? Objection. As phrased, sustained. What happened between Edenwald and BMB after Quay's death? The beef got more serious. How so? Because now it was 2 people that had died from White Plains Road, and at the time nobody had died from Edenwald. What kind of things did BMB members do to remember and honor Quay? Get his name tatted, or buy a lot of bottles of rosé, and they keep candle lightings. They put rosé on. They use the name on Facebook. Miss Brady, can we please pull up Government Exhibit 201-2, which is from the defendant's Facebook page? Could we zoom in on the bottom third of the page, please? Could you please read the second from the top post here, starting with, "Good afternoon." Good afternoon. Facebook Quay, what up? Big Bank, what up? Could you please read the date of that post? 2014, 6/22. Mr. Hamilton, we talked about Big Bank before. What was your Facebook username? My first one was Steph Banks. My second one was Steph Rose. What was Banks in reference to? Big Bank. What was Rosé in reference to? Quay Rosé. What is a bottle of rosé? A liquor. Could we please pull up or show the witness Government Exhibit 13? Do you recognize that person? Yes. Who is it? Tick Tick. Who is Tick Tick? A member of BMB. How do you know? I pieced him. That was one of my best friends. The government offers Government Exhibit 13 and 13B. No objection. Received. Mr. Hamilton, we've talked about shootings you were involved in. Did you ever talk to Tick Tick about a shooting at Edenwald? Yes. What did Tick Tick tell you? The way the story came about, I was making fun of him, about him having black eyes, 2 black eyes, and I mentioned a video I seen of him having 2 black eyes, and Polo Rell was in it. And I asked him about shots at a green Honda. What was that about? What happened? And he said Polo Rell shot at him. And I just want to try to understand that better. You said you were making fun of Tick Tick for having black eyes? Yes. And you had seen that in a video? Yes. Do you remember where you saw the video? On Facebook. Was Polo Rell, the defendant, also in the video? Yes. And when you say shots at a green Honda, was that a lyric in the song? Yes. When you asked Tick Tick about those lyrics, what did he tell you? He said Polo Rell shot at Edenwald in a green Honda. The green Honda. Who was in the green Honda? Edenwald.